Hello, good morning children. So we have studied in the last two classes about the different strategies in enhancing the food production in the field of animal husbandry. So now let's continue the chapter, that is we are going to study about the plant breeding, different techniques involved in plant breeding and how to improve the yield of plant production from the different varieties like rice, wheat, maize, etc. Now, before going into the chapter, the second part of the chapter, let's see. India is basically an agricultural country. Near 33% of India's GDP is dependent on agriculture, and nearly 62% of the population, India's population, is depending on agriculture. So the farmers and all, they produce different kind of rice varieties, wheat and all. So in this chapter, we'll be seeing what are the different ways there can be an increase in the agricultural field, that is increasing the food productivity, the resistance of the plant towards pathogens or insects, etc. And then some new techniques of plant breeding. We are going to discuss about the mutation breeding, then tissue culture, as well as somatic cell hybridization, as well as single cell protein, right? So the different ways, methods of plant breeding, we are going to study about that in detail now. So please look on to the slide. Let's continue the chapter with the second part of the chapter, right? So children, so the second part of the chapter, strategies for enhancement in food production for the plants. So the first is nothing but we are going to study about plant breeding. What is the meaning of plant breeding? Plant breeding is nothing but it is the purposeful manipulation of plant species in order to create desired plant types, so which can produce high yield, okay, that are better suited for cultivation, give better yields and are disease resistant. So that is plant breeding. It is a purposeful manipulation. Manipulation can be done in the way of different by mutation breeding or by tissue culture or by somatic cell hybridization. So the purposeful manipulation of plant species in order to create desired plant types that are better suited for cultivation, give better yields and are disease resistant. That is the main purpose of plant breeding. Now you can see that you must have heard about Green Revolution. Green Revolution was nothing but was dependent on plant breeding, techniques for the development of high yielding and disease resistant varieties in wheat, rice and maize. Alright. So what are the different types of plant breeding? The different types of plant breeding can be classified as classical plant breeding, that is a traditional method which the farmers have employed, and the other one is modern plant breeding. Classical plant breeding. So here it involves crossing or hybridization of pure lines. Okay, it's not a hybrid variety, the pure lines, followed by artificial selection to produce plants with high yield, nutrition and disease resistant. So classical plant breeding is nothing but crossing or hybridization of the pure lines of the plant, and it is followed by artificial selection to produce plants which gives very high yield of crops, nutrition and which are resistant to certain diseases like tobacco mosaic virus and all that. Now, what is modern plant breeding? Modern plant breeding is nothing but it is little different from classical plant breeding, where it is the breeding of plants by using tools like molecular biology, genetics and tissue culture. So different modern technologies are used for developing high yield. So you can see in this picture, this is one of the example of plant breeding where 3 different seeds are selected. In this, these 2 seeds, that is it's oil producing seeds of oil producing plant. These seeds, it gives very less oil, and this seed, it gives oil rich soils seeds are selected. So this oil rich seeds are then planted and it produces the oil rich seeds. So that is there will be selection between the seeds which has to be planted. Next, you can see when we carry out plant breeding, there are certain characters that the breeders or the cultivators, they have tried to incorporate in the crop plants. Means they need some desired characters. What are the desired characters they will be implementing? So the first one is the plants should increase tolerance to environmental stress. Environmental stress means salinity, the amount of soil, salt level in the soil, that is near the coastal regions, extreme temperatures, drought, that is in some places like Odisha, UP, Madhya Pradesh and all, okay, where there is a shortage of water. So the farmers will be looking onto the first factor, whether the plant has the resistance or it has great amount of tolerance to environmental stress. Second, they will be looking at the character, the trait which the breeders look into for incorporating into crop plants are resistance to pathogens. Pathogens are nothing but the microorganisms which cause diseases. Okay, so we can classify them as viruses, fungi and bacteria. So there are viral diseases, fungal diseases and bacterial diseases which affect the crop plants. Then next another important factor is even the insect. Many insects are there which also infect and it decreases the yield of the plant. So the third factor which a breeder looks into the factor is increased tolerance to insect pests like spider, then there is ants, different species of ants, worms, root borer, stem borer, etc. Then high yielding and improved quality of crop plant. So the crop which they are selecting to grow in their field, it should have a very high yield and it should be of very high superior quality. So these are the 4 factors that the breeders will try to incorporate in the crop plants. Now there are 5 main steps which is there in plant breeding. The first one is collection of variability. Collection of variability is very, very important. That means the seeds or the plants which have to be grown in a particular field should have all the characteristics needed. So it's a collection of all the characteristics in that plant or the seeds. So what is the first one? Collection of variability means the collection and preservation of all the different wild varieties, species and relatives of the cultivated species and their evaluation, testing for their characteristic is a prerequisite for the exploitation of natural genes. Second and foremost, and this whole thing, the first step, collection of variability is known as germplasm collection. Germplasm collection is nothing but the entire collection of plants or seeds having all the diverse alleles for all genes in a given crop. So seeds of plants that have all the diverse alleles, you must have seen that is the gene which code alleles are nothing but genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits. You must have learned about the tall pea plant and the dwarf pea plant, then the seeds in the pea plant with round seed or wrinkle seed. Okay, so certain traits which is needed, which will be present in the crop. So that collection is done, which is desired factors are collected. The entire collection of plants or seeds having all the diverse alleles for a genes in a given crop, is called germplasm collection. Next step in plant breeding is evaluation and selection of parents. So the available germplasm, that is the collection of plants or the seeds which have all the desired characters, alleles in it, contrasting the characters which are present in it, they are then analyzed and evaluated to identify the plants with desirable combination of characters, like the combination with the length of such as in the case of the sugarcane. The characters will be the very long internodes with the high sugar content and all that. So with the desirable combination of characters present in the particular germplasm, that kind of plants are being selected. Next step is the selected plants are multiplied and used in the process of hybridization. Okay, so here 2 different varieties of plants are hybridized. And for that, by self-pollination, in that case, the pure line is created whenever desired. Otherwise, the hybridized variety of the plant, that is the 2 different plants which have all the desired characters, they are crossed to get a hybrid variety. Next, you can see the third step under plant breeding is cross hybridization among the selected parents. The plants having desirable characteristics are then cross-hybridized to produce hybrids that genetically combine the desired characters of two different plants. So the characters which are there, if the one plant is giving high quantity of the sugar yield and other plant which grows in other climatic condition, like two contrasting two characters can be combined and put into one particular plant. So the pollen grains, for this purpose, the pollen grains from the selected male parent is dusted over the sigma of the other plant. So you must have already learned this in the previous classes, how the pollination is done. For this purpose, if the pollen grains from a selected superior male parent has to be dusted over the stigma, what happens? It will not allow self-pollination. For this process, the step involves emasculation and bagging techniques. The anther has to be removed and the stigma of the plant has to be covered. So next, this breeding technique can be done on that plant to get higher yield. So it prevents self-pollination. The fourth step in plant breeding is nothing but selection and testing of the superior recombinants. So what do you mean by recombinants? That means the hybrid plant, okay, which has superior quality. It has qualities better than their parents. So those plants are selected that have desirable characters, combination among the progeny of hybrids. So many plants which grow. So from that, the plants are selected for to be grown in the crop on a large scale. Careful scientific evaluation of the progeny is required for selection. So scientifically, that is, which are the characters present, the cell, the genes, okay, what are the characters required by the particular plant, like the pod size, like in leguminous plant, okay, which the size of the pod, the size of the seed, all that developed is very, very important, which gives protein. So all the scientific evaluation of the progeny, the plants are required for the selection. The hybrid are superior to parents, that's very important. The hybrid plant, because it has a combination of both the characters from two different plants, and this is called hybrid vigor, or it is known as heterosis. The plants are self-pollinated for several generations. So in this purpose, that is, the hybrid plants are self-pollinated for several generations so that characters will not segregate in the future progeny. The fifth step in this is the newly selected lines, that is, lines means nothing but the hybrid plants are evaluated for their yield, quality and disease resistance, whether they are resistant to different fungal diseases or viral diseases or bacterial diseases. These crops are grown in the research field and their performance is recorded under ideal conditions. So how much of yield per acre of that particular rice or wheat is being recorded. These crops are grown in the field for at least 3 growing seasons, and then the Rabi crop and the Kharif crop. So based on that, the crops are sown into different fields and their performance is recorded. The crops are evaluated in comparison to the best available reference crop or cultivar. So the crops which have been grown, from time to time people in that particular research field, they come and they will be recording evaluating the yield of that particular crop. So next you can see that the development in the field of agriculture is nothing but that is Green Revolution. So in Green Revolution, what happened? That is just after the independence in India, the major concern was the production of food. That is for the increasing population, that was the main challenge which is faced by our country. So for that, several high yielding varieties, HIV, seeds of rice and wheat in mid 1960s was introduced in the field of agriculture, and this led to increase in the food production in our country. So this phase is often referred to as Green Revolution. So do you know who is the father of Green Revolution, children? Okay, the father of Green Revolution in India is M.S. Swaminathan, and the father of Green Revolution, as such we say, he is Norman E. Borlaug. He got a Nobel Prize for the production of large scale of food varieties okay, for the ever increasing population in the world, and also he prevented the large difficulties faced by the people due to starvation. So father of Green Revolution in India is M.S. Swaminathan. It was aimed, so Green Revolution was mainly aimed at producing enough food for increasing population. Agriculture accounts for approximately 33% of India's GDP. And then you can see this is the farm where the new method, technology is used for, this is for watering the plants, and sprinklers and all are being used, and here you can see how the insecticides or pesticides which are being sprayed onto the large scale acres of land for preventing the insect infecting the plants. Now we will study under Green Revolution which are the different Indian hybrid crops present. So different Indian hybrid crops we can classify them as wheat, the different crops which were wheat, rice and sugarcane and millets. So let's see the wheat varieties. So this was first developed by the Nobel laureate Norman E. Borlaug at the International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement in Mexico. He had developed semi-dwarf wheat. Okay, so this led to a very high yield of wheat around the world. So semi-dwarf varieties of wheat and rice were developed at International Center for Wheat and Maize Development in Mexico by Norman E. Borlaug. And the two main hybrid varieties of wheat which are resistance to disease and which have high yield is nothing but Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. Please learn this is important. Example of Indian hybrid crops, that is wheat, example is Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, where the high yielding and disease resistant wheat varieties grown in India in 1963. Now come to the rice. Rice also, semi-dwarf varieties of rice were derived from the main hybrid, that is IRA. A name was given to that. It was developed at International Rice Research Institute IRR in Philippines and Taichung Native One in Taiwan. So what are the names of Indian varieties of rice? So the examples of that are Jaya and Ratna, were high yielding, disease resistant, semi-dwarf varieties of rice developed in India during that time. The name given to the hybrid varieties of rice. Next we will come into that is sugarcane. Yeah, what is the main product? What we get from sugarcane? Yes, sugar. So sugarcane has basically two different species, varieties are there. One is Saccharum barbari, other one is Saccharum officinarum. So please see Saccharum barbari and Saccharum officinarum. There are two different species of sugarcane. Saccharum barbari was grown in North India, had poor sugar content and low yield. It had very less quantity of sugar produced in it and it had a very low yield. Whereas in the south, it was Saccharum officinarum was grown in South India. It had thicker stems and high sugar content. These two species were crossed to get desirable qualities of, to get a better product. So these two crops, different species of sugarcane were crossed to get a variety of sugarcane which had very high yield, thick stem, high sugar content and the ability to grow the plant in North India. So some of the plants which were not possible to grow in North India, the hybrid variety of sugarcane, it was possible to get that, which also can be grown abundantly in North India, parts of the North India. The next crop which was grown in India is nothing but millet. Millet includes maize, jowar and bajra. So in millets, high yielding varieties of maize, jowar and bajra have been developed in India, which was resistant to water stress. Means when there is less of water, these plants could be grown in that region too. Now let's see the different methods for plant breeding, different methods of plant breeding for disease resistance. Okay, so certain plants and all plants are grown for, plant breeding is done for developing resistance of plants towards disease, towards insect, for developing high food quality. So let's see the first point, plant breeding for disease resistance. What is the main aim for that? Here the main aim for disease resistance is breeding of cultivars, that is a plant with resistance to diseases enhances food production. So if the crop is being produced and it is infected with different diseases, bacterial, fungal or viral diseases, there will be a loss in great loss in the economy, in the agricultural field. So that was the main purpose. It is breeding of cultivars with resistance to diseases enhances the food production. Second, if the breeding is done, it reduces the use of fungicides and bactericides which are used to kill fungus and bacteria. Then different insecticides, okay, like you must have learned about DDT and all that. Now, ability to prevent the pathogens. Pathogens are nothing but which causes disease. So, ability to prevent the pathogens from causing diseases by the host plant. So, the original plant which was usually attacked by the pathogens. So, if hybrid variety was developed, so that plant will be able to resist from getting infected by different fungal, bacterial or viral diseases. Then study of causative organism, means organisms like fungal, viral or bacterial pathogens can be studied, and their mode of transmission, how they cause diseases to the plants, can be studied in this plant breeding method. So this was the main aim, that was for plants were developed which could resist diseases caused by fungus, bacteria and virus. Now come to this is very important. You have to learn the common plant diseases which is caused by fungus, bacteria and virus. Fungal diseases are nothing but different kinds of rust. Okay, so example is brown rust of wheat, red rot of sugarcane and the late blight of potato. So earlier and all these all caused loss in the agriculture field in growing all these wheat, sugarcane or potato because they were affected by fungus. So the common plant diseases which is caused by fungus is nothing but brown rust of wheat, red rot of sugarcane and late blight of potato. Bacterial diseases are nothing but black rot of crucifers. Example, mustard. Crucifer is nothing but belongs to the Cruciferaceae family. Mustard belongs to that. Virus. Which are the diseases caused by virus in plants? So first one is tobacco mosaic virus and turnip mosaic virus. So these are the common plant diseases. So in plant breeding technique is carried out to prevent for the plants to develop resistance towards the plant diseases. Resistance from fungal, bacterial or viral diseases. Next, which are the methods for plant breeding for disease resistance? There are two methods carried out. One is conventional breeding method, that is a traditional method, and second one is mutation breeding. So this is an example of the pea, so how it is being developed, which will be having resistance towards the disease. So here, selection and screening of germ plasm, that is a collection of plant. So the first step, as we have studied before, what are the main steps in plant breeding? Here also in conventional breeding technique, the same steps are followed. Selection and screening of germ plasm for disease resistance, one important point. Second, when the germ plasm is selected, the selected plants, hybridization of the selected plants is done. Next, selection and evaluation of the hybrids is done, and in the end, the testing and release of the new varieties. That means they are tested and they are released into the fields for large acres of land for growing further is being done. So these are the 4 steps which are included in conventional breeding techniques. So the crop varieties, example of crop varieties which are developed for resistance to various pathogens are examples. Please learn it. It's also very, very important for multiple choice question. Wheat, a variety of wheat which is grown for resistance to diseases is Himgiri. Himgiri is developed. It can resist itself from leaf and stripe rust and hill burnt. These are the 2 diseases which affect wheat plant, and another hybrid variety of wheat is Himgiri, which causes resistance towards leaf and stripe rust and hill burnt. The second one is Brassica. It is nothing but mustard. The hybrid variety is Pusa swernim or Karan Rai. It gives resistance towards the disease caused is white rust, fungal disease. Next is cauliflower. Cauliflower in one vegetable. Here also there are two hybrid varieties of cauliflowers which are developed. One is Pusa subra and other one is Pusa snowball K1. Numbers are marked to identify them. So these cause resistance towards the diseases black rot and curl blight black rot. Cowpea, another leguminous plant, Pusa komal, it has been developed which has resistance towards the disease, that is bacterial blight. And last one is chili. So the hybrid variety of chili which was developed was Pusa sadabahar. So it causes resistance towards the disease, that is chili mosaic virus, tobacco mosaic virus and leaf curl. Leaf curl means there are certain fungal diseases which will infect them, which causes the leaf to curl. Alright, so that hybrid variety can be developed by that method. So next you can see the conventional method. There is another method which can be employed for developing resistance towards diseases is nothing but mutation breeding. In mutation breeding, what happened? The genetic variations are created in the plants through changes in the base sequence within the genes, resulting in the creation of a new trait not found in the parent. That means you can see the genetic variation you have learned in the previous chapter. There is a gene sequence and all. Okay, base sequence, cytosine, thymine, guanine, adenosine and all. There the sequence itself is being changed. You can see in this diagram, this is an example of mutation breeding. So this is the base sequence of this plant. So this itself, okay, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, all that it can be totally changed and a new set of base sequence can be introduced into the plant by mutation. So how this mutation can be brought about? It can be brought about by the use of chemicals, or it can be brought about by certain radiation, that is gamma radiations. Chemicals which can be used are aniline, an organic compound, or nitrous acid can be used for this purpose. That means when these plants, which is selected plants which is there for source of breeding which is selected, that can be treated with the chemicals, or it can be radiated with gamma radiations or UV radiations, and totally the base sequence can be changed to get a new hybrid, that is mutation. It just changes the base sequence and you will get a mutant variety. So this is known as mutation breeding. Plants having the desirable character is selected as a source of breeding. So the examples of plant which are developed by mutation breeding are moong bean, a leguminous one, beans plant, which is resistant to yellow mosaic virus and powdery mildew, were induced by mutation. Another example for mutation breeding is Abelmoschus esculentus. It is bindi. Bindi is nothing but lady's finger, with resistance to, again the same thing, yellow mosaic virus was developed to create a new variety of Abelmoschus esculentus called Parbhani Kranti. That is a new variety of lady's finger which was developed, and this had resistance towards the certain pathogens. So viral infection. So that's what we have studied in the plant breeding. The remaining we'll be studying it in the next class. So we had dealt about the in this class we have studied about what is plant breeding, what is the meaning of green revolution. Then we had studied about what are the types of plant breeding, classical plant breeding and modern plant breeding. Modern plant breeding, new tools like molecular biology, genetics and tissue culture is introduced. Okay, and new hybrid varieties of plants are being developed. Then what are the characteristics or traits what the breeders have tried to incorporate in the crop plants are increased tolerance to environmental stress, resistance to pathogens, resistance to insect pests, and high yielding and improved quality of crop plant. Then steps in plant breeding, there are 5 basic steps. First one is collection of variability. All the different characteristics what is needed will be incorporated, it is collected, and this is an example of a collection of the germplasm collection, how it is collected and stored in the lab. Okay. The entire collection of plants or seeds have all the diverse alleles for all genes in a crop. In a given crop is called germplasm collection. Evaluation and selection of parents. So here After the germplasm collection, it is analyzed and evaluated to identify the plants with desirable combination of characters. The selected plants are then multiplied and it is used in a process of hybridization. By using self-pollination, pure lines can be developed. Cross-hybridization among the selected plant parents are done, and the plants having desirable characters will be cross-hybridized so that the progeny, it will be having both the characteristics of desired characteristics from two different plants. The pollen grains from the selected male plant is dusted over the stigma, and for this two methods should be used: emasculation and bagging technique. Selection and testing of superior combinants. Here also, among the hybrid varieties, the plants which have desirable characters are being selected. It will be scientifically evaluated. The evaluation of the progeny is carried out, and the hybrid are nothing but they are superior to the parents. So this hybrid, it is known as hybrid vigor. These plants are self-pollinated for several generations, and so that the characters will not segregate in the future progeny. The last step under this is testing and release and commercialization of the new cultivars. The new hybrid plant, the selected lines means nothing but the plants are evaluated for the yield, quality and disease resistance, and they are grown in a large area, and they are the crops are grown in the field for at least 3 growing seasons, and their growth, the performance is recorded from time to time. Then Green Revolution, that is in the mid 1960s, when there was a great jump in the production of wheat, rice from, in the case of wheat, it was from 11 million tons to 75 million tons, and rice from 35 million tons to nearly 89.5 million tons of rice was produced due to the semi-drought varieties of rice and wheat. So that together, that phase of in agriculture is referred to as Green Revolution, and it was aimed at producing enough food for the increasing population. So different varieties of wheat which was developed in India is Sonalika and Kalyan, which was disease resistant. Rice is nothing but Jaya and Ratna were high yielding disease resistant semi-drought varieties of rice developed in India. Sugarcane, very important, please note the names Sakaram barbari and Sakaram officinarum, which one used to grow in North India and other one, Sakaram officinarum, was grown in South India. So here these two species were cross hybridized, and then the desired characters was developed in one plant. So this is an example of a sugarcane crop which was developed, okay, the hybrid variety. So which would give a high sugar content and with high yield, that is thick stem with long internodes. Then millets, high yielding varieties of maize, jowar and bajra was developed, which was resistant to water stress. Then the next we are going to study, we studied about plant breeding for disease resistance. Plants get infected with different pathogens such as fungus, virus and bacteria. So there were certain changes done in the plant's gene itself so that these plants could develop resistance to diseases. So some common diseases caused by fungus, bacteria and virus we have studied here. It's rust, brown rust of wheat, red rot of sugarcane and late blight of potato. This had caused large amount of loss in the field of agriculture. Bacteria, black rot of crucifers in mustard plant, and virus, tobacco mosaic virus and turnip mosaic virus was another some of the plant diseases. So plant disease, the plants to be grown which can develop resistance towards disease can be divided under category 2 methods. One is conventional method of breeding technique. As we have studied before, it was selection, screening of germplasm, hybridization of selected parents, selection and evaluation of the hybrid, and in the end testing and release of the new varieties. And these are some of the important ones which has to be learned. The different varieties of wheat is Himgiri, Brassica, that is mustard, Pusa Swarnim, cauliflower, Pusa Subra and Pusa Snowball, K1, Pusa Komal, that is a hybrid variety of cowpea, and chili is Pusa Sadabahar. So these all hybrid varieties were developed to cause resistance towards the diseases. For Himgiri was leaf and stipe rust and hilburn. For mustard, white rust. For cauliflower, black rot and curl was the main disease cause which causes disease in cauliflower. and the bacterial blight is a disease which is spread to cowpeas, and chili mosaic virus, tobacco mosaic virus, and leaf curl used to infect the chili plants. So new hybrid varieties of these plants were produced to cause resistance to diseases. Then mutation breeding was a second method which we are seeing. Here the genetic variations are created through changes in the base sequence. Here the base sequence itself is changed, resulting in the new trait not found in the parent. So this change can be carried out by radiations like gamma radiations or UV radiations, or by chemicals can be nitrous acid or aniline, which can be used for changing the base sequence of the plant. The genes itself, it can be changed to get a new higher variety. So it is a mutant variety of plants can be seen. You can see it was genetically modified brinjal was introduced into the market some 2 years back. Some 4 to 5 years back. Plants having the desirable character is selected as source of breeding. Examples of mutant breeding are, there's a hybrid varieties are moong bean with resistance to yellow mosaic virus, powdery mildew, and Abelmoschus esculentus, that is bindi lady's finger, resistance to yellow mosaic virus, and new variety of the lady's finger called Parbhani Kranti was developed by this method. So that's what end we'll be learning. We have learned that in the first part under plant breeding. The remaining we'll be studying in the next class. Hope you have understood this much, and please concentrate on the examples which are given in under each topic. Thank you.